Okay, so this morning we are going to look at gaining confidence by turning obstacles into opportunities. Gaining confidence by turning obstacles into opportunities. Okay, now this training is going to be an eye-opener for you. If you are having obstacles in your business, how do you turn them into opportunities? And by so doing, build the confidence you desire in your business. How do you gain confidence? By turning obstacles into opportunities. Okay, now let's take it a step further. Our actions may be impeded. Our actions may be impeded, but there can be no impeding our intentions or dispositions. You can impede my action can be impeded, but you cannot impede my intention or my disposition about something. Now, because we can accommodate and adapt, the mind adapts and convert to its own purposes, the obstacles to our actions. So what it means is that the impediment to action actually advances to action. In other words, what stands in the way becomes the way. What stands in the way becomes the way. What is that obstacle that you have in your business right now? As a team, what is that obstacle we are having? Like I said, I'm doing this training. This training is not just for you, it's an eye-opener for me as well. What is that thing standing in our way as a team to raising Kingsmen? What is that thing standing on your way of becoming a Kingsman? What is that thing that is holding you back from doing your activities in your business? That thing that's an obstacle, you need to start seeing it as the way. This is powerful. This is mind-blowing. This is powerful. If you understand the concept of this training, you will rise in confidence by turning your obstacles into opportunities. All right? Now, let's take it a step further. How do leaders react to obstacles? Now, bad leaders are destroyed by the obstacles that come their way. Whenever there's a challenge in their business, whenever there's a small crisis or a huge crisis or whatever crisis, the company has just increased the amount of product. Now, we used to do PMA with 14,000, and I think now it's about 22,500 naira for you to do your PMA. For a bad leader, that will destroy them. In fact, those of them who have not even been doing maintenance, I even said it. Me, I won't even this maintenance thing, I beg. Bad leaders will see the increase in the product of price, increase in price of product as a bad thing for the business. They start seeing obstacles and challenges. They don't see the opportunities there. They only limit themselves to the obstacles. And because they are always paying attention to the obstacles, they are destroyed by those obstacles. Good leaders survive them. They will just be there. Anyhow, make it not be like, say, I know they come sell meeting. I have to be there. They survive. They are there, but they are just trying to survive. They're just trying to survive. Great leaders are improved by crisis. They devote to learning. They devote to finding ways to make that crisis go away. Good leaders, great leaders are improved by crisis. The question is, where do you classify yourself? See, it's not bad if you're number one, okay? But you need to now start making an intentional decision about becoming a great leader by not allowing those crises to affect you negatively. Rather, they should help you to improve. Don't just survive, improve. Because if you just survive, you're just there. no growth. But when you improve, you found ways to handle it. My team has not been, producing. Now that should improve you. What are the obstacles stopping them from generating activities? What do? You find opportunities in those things. You find a way, you sit down, you brainstorm, you begin to think, what are the positive steps I can take to ensure that I get this solved? Oh, I'm not getting the response I need from my leader. My leader has not been there for me. See it as an opportunity to rise. Ladies and gentlemen, leaders spend 5% of their time on the problem and 95% of the time on the solution. This training is an eye-opener, not just for the team, it's for me as well. Looking at this training again, I'm like, oh, if I spend more time on the problem, then I'm only going to end up being a weak leader. I complain. I come from the place of pain, struggle, pain. You're always complaining. My leader is not doing this. He's not doing that. I have not been getting this. This is the reason why my business is not going well. You blame everybody. Instead of you to sit down, focus less on the problem and pay more attention to the solution. How do I generate codes? How do I sign up new persons in my business this week? How do I go back to running my events? How do I go back to making sure that I invite for every event? We just started our Amazon project again. We're bringing it back to life. Last Saturday's, in fact, the outcome of that meeting has been mind-blowing for me. Okay, yes, we had some network glitch, but still, we have some positive responses from the prospects who were in that meeting. Question is, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the problem or on the solution? Leaders see crisis as an opportunity to grow, to rise. Desperation, fear, despair, powerlessness, all these things are actions that come from our perception. They are reactions. We behave this way. We are in desperate behavior. We are desperate to get results. You are afraid. You don't know how it's going to go. You despair. You feel powerless. Those are reactions coming from the way you perceive things. It's your perception. Perception is everything, according to my mentor, Ambassador Michael. Ambassador Michael would say, perception is everything. Everything. Perception is everything. It's everything. The way you perceive things, that's what will push you into those reactions. Leaders don't allow their perception lead them to these negative reactions. You are afraid. What are you afraid of? That's your belief, that's your mindset, that's your perception. Okay, let's take it a step further. Now, when we are faced with an obstacle, what do we do? Number one is to be objective. Be objective. Yes, this is the problem. Don't shy away from it. Oh, I have not generated code in the past 3 months. This is it. Be objective. All right? Be objective. What is the problem? Face it squarely. Be objective. Number two, you must learn to control your emotions. You must learn to control your emotions. I was listening to a recording this morning. The recording gave an instance of, he made mention of something. He said, if you're in control of your emotions, what you do when things happen is you sleep over it. Because when you say things, you may not be able to take back those words. And trust me, there are some of us here, there are things you've heard from someone that has stayed in your head and is still going to remain in your head until the day you die. But assuming the person who said those things, maybe they were hurting statements, and if that person actually guided his or her emotions before saying those things, peradventure, they wouldn't have said what they said. So as leaders, we must learn to control our emotions, how we feel. Be in charge of your feeling. Be in charge of the way you feel. Be in charge of your emotions. Whenever an obstacle comes your way, yes, be objective, then control your emotions. Choose to see the good side of that problem. Like some of the leaders sent me a message recently about what's happening in the team. I quickly told them, I said, get to see the positive side of this. If you see the positive side of this problem, you begin to move away from complaining about it and begin to focus on the solution. How do I solve this? Because now your focus is on the good of that challenge, of that crisis, of that obstacle. So choose to see the good, all right? Steady your nerves. Don't allow things to shake you or move you to acting negatively. Steady your nerves. Be calm, all right? Now, ignore what disturbs or limits others. This is very, very vital. Others will come from a place of pain. Others will come from a place of despair. Others will come from a place of being afraid. Just choose not to be disturbed by those things. It's your decision. Choose not to be disturbed by those things. Ignore what disturbs others. Ignore what limits them. And the last but not the least, place things in proper perspective. Place things in proper perspective. Okay? Now, let's go further. You must learn to control what can be controlled. Stop focusing. See, I want to generate codes this week, right? Good. Now, am I going to control what the prospects are going to do when I invite them into the meeting? No. But I can make sure that I have enough prospects in the meeting so that the results will go the way I want. Last week, I had about 15 persons, about 13 persons who attended this Amazon event. And I made up my mind, okay, if I want a better result, I can't focus on who is going to sign up and who is not going to sign up, but I can focus on the number of people I can get to see the business. And what did I do? I jacked it up. And I had over 30 persons who were in the meeting last week, Saturday. So it means that I am in control of my activities, not the results. So what do I need to do whenever I'm faced with crisis? I focus on what I can control. I can control. I've been doing follow-up since yesterday, and I'm beginning to get some positive vibes, some positive results. People who are willing to make their payments, people who are ready to get started. We're having a QSG immediately. So you see, people are getting, people who are leaders, who are getting the result they want from a crisis, are actually focusing on the things that they can control. What are those things you can control in your business? You can control the invitations, the number of people you invite in your business. You can't control whether they will come or not. Your job is to increase that number. All right? So when we face with obstacles, these are the things we should do. Be objective, control your emotions, choose to see the good, steady your nerves, ignore what disturbs or limits others, place things in proper perspective, and then focus on the things that can be controlled. Stop worrying about things that you cannot control. Okay? So your decision will lead to your what? To the way you perceive things, which is your perception. Your perception will spur you into action, and then what you're willing to bring to the table. All right? So it's all about differentiating yourself from others. Yes, be a little bit stronger than others. More of us, when we're if you remember the Grass to Grace event, Elijah Mbas made mention of something. He said what he decided to do in his business was to outlive others, to outsmart others, to outread. So just be a little bit more than other people. Others are are playing small, just take it a notch up higher than what they are doing. Be a bit stronger. Be a bit stronger. Be a little bit more positive than them. Be a little bit more ready to be, just read more a little than others. Read more than others. Okay? Be a little bit more better student than others. Be willing to learn more. Be willing to learn more. Bring a little bit more people to an event. Yes, I brought in 30 people. What do I need to do? Okay, this person is also bringing 30. No, this week I must make sure I bring up to 50%. Anything that let me just do a little bit more. Do a little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. Is somebody getting value from this training this morning? And I told us this training is going to be an eye-opener. It's an eye-opener for me. It's an eye-opener for the team. It's an eye-opener for anybody who is listening to the sound of my voice. Be a little bit more. Differentiate yourself from others. Be stronger than them. Be more positive than them. Be willing to read more than them. Be willing to be a better student than them. Be willing to bring more people to the event. Stay longer. See, people are not attending the event, right? Decide that I will never miss the event. They miss the event. Others, they didn't come for the event. No wahala. I'm not going to be the one that will miss the event. Just decide to be a little bit more. Decide to do a little bit more. Okay? So now, just a minute. Okay, so be a little bit more. Be a little bit more. Okay, do a little more than what others are doing. Is that okay? Now, what is up to us as we begin to close? What is up to us? What is up to us as we're trying to gain confidence in our business, as we're trying to get results that we want? What is that thing that is up to us? Number one, our emotions. Number two, our judgments. Number three, our perception. Number four, our creativity. Number five, our attitude. Number six, our perspective. Number seven, our desires. And number eight, our decisions. And last but not the least, our determinations. You can control your emotion. This is what is up to you. Your judgment, what's your judgment about things? What's your judgment about what's happening in the team? What's your judgment about what's happening in your business? What's your judgment about what's happening in other people's life or in your life? What's your judgment about that situation that is facing you right now? It is yours to control. What's your perception? How do you perceive things? How do you see them? What are you willing to create? What are you willing to change? What are your innovations? What are the things you're willing to do? Your creativity. How do you react? Your attitude. What's your perspective? Okay, are you having a positive perspective about the situation or a negative one? What are your desires? What are your decisions? What are the decisions you're willing to make? Your determinations. What have you determined to do? These are the things that are up to you. Now, what is not up to us? Every other thing else is not up to us. Every other thing is not up to you. This is the only thing that is up to you. These are the only things that are up to you. The rest, every other thing are not up to you. So focus on the things that are up to you. Ladies and gentlemen, my message for us this morning is to begin to see the obstacles in your business as a gift, as an opportunity. Your obstacles are a gift. They are an opportunity to grow. These are opportunities to prove to yourself that your dreams are valid. Obstacles are opportunities to prove to yourself that you are worthy of the success, irrespective of what the obstacles that are coming your way are. These obstacles should make you feel that you are capable and deserving of the success. Don't chicken out in the face of the obstacles. It's an opportunity. I've been given an opportunity to anchor a training. Yes, I'm not where I should be, but I want to see this as an opportunity to grow myself. So that as I am doing this training, I'm also learning from this training. I'm learning from what I'm anchoring, and it's going to help me to become a better person, not by running away from the problem. Bad leaders are destroyed by crisis. Good leaders only survive them, but the great leaders are improved by crisis. Ladies and gentlemen, let's remember that for us to build our confidence, it goes up by the skills. As we're acquiring new skills, as we're learning the skills, we don't let average people to make us feel guilty about pursuing our life mission. Okay? Once you have an unshakable belief, you will start attracting good things to your business. Okay? Your belief is so important that you must believe in yourself. We talked about it earlier this morning. Believe in your product, believe in AIM Global, believe in the compensation plan, believe in yourself. All right? Now, you're more confident when you know where you're going as against when you don't know where you are going. And that's why every morning we remind ourselves of our vision, which is to raise our vision is to create financially free people, to raise financially free people who will in turn raise other financially free people that will now collectively use their resources to affect the world positively. Okay, that's our vision. And we intend to do this by raising millionaires in the connected economy that will usher in the next generation world changers. So if you know where you're going to, you become confident about what you're doing. Okay, you become more confident. So at this point, this is where we're going to wrap up today's section. We have seen over this training during this series of building unstoppable confidence that for us to grow, for us to have more confidence in what we do, is important for us to now start turning our obstacles into opportunities. Now, go to the chat room and let me know, what is that number one obstacle that you are seeing in your business? Let's make this interactive. Drop it in the chat box and we're going to discuss them now.